Hey everybody, I am at the Tulsa, Oklahoma coin show. This is the last day on Saturday. And what I want to do today is, instead of talking with a bunch of dealers, I'm going to talk to one, but I'm going to talk to mostly people that are on the floor and ask them why they're here, what they're here to buy, and are they buying gold and silver? And I'm also going to give them a question. If you have $1,000 or let's say $5,000 worth of silver, what would you spend it on? So rather than talk to dealers, let's go talk to people on the sales floor and see what they are doing, because ultimately that's what's important. My channel is sponsored by SDBullion.com. New customers can get their first order of gold or silver at spot by going to SDBullion.com/new. All right, guys, so I'm here with Resin Dragon, who is a YouTuber, but not a precious metals YouTuber, and definitely not a dealer. She does resin pours and stuff like that, so this is gonna be great.
Hi, Seeker.
Hi, Resin. Well, listen, I need to ask you, why are you here today, and what are you looking for in silver?
Well, of course we're here at the coin show because we want to buy coins, but I think the best part is the community. We come here to see our friends every year. We drive out from Ohio, but we bought some really cool stuff yesterday. Today we're looking for gold.
So gold instead of silver, why?
Because I like to diversify.
Okay.
I want to make sure that we have a little bit of everything. We have some numismatics, we stack silver, we stack gold, so a little bit of everything.
So let me ask you, why do you stack silver?
For us, it's part of our retirement plan because you can't rely on your 401k alone anymore. And it's kind of to preserve wealth. We don't have kids, so we want to make sure that we have some wealth at the end to put ourselves up in a really nice nursing home.
A really nice nursing home, I love it. So you're not going to take that money or that silver and gold and then sell it and take like a year-long cruise or anything?
No.
So
no.
when you said you bought some stuff yesterday, you're looking for silver. What kind of silver are you looking for? Like, you looking for collectability? You looking for low premium? What are you looking at?
Right now, we're looking for collectability because that's what we're going to find at the coin shows, in my opinion. If I'm going to just stack generic silver, I can get that at SD Bullion anytime. So I don't need to do anything else, but we're here mostly for collectability.
I got to get in here and interject. I saw her wink when she said SD Bullion, which is a sponsor of my channel. Thank you. But
welcome.
I did not tell her to say that, just so you know. Well, Resin, I really appreciate you sharing that with us. We're going to talk to some more people on the floor and find out why they're stacking silver. But one final question.
Yes.
If you had $5,000 to buy silver or gold with right now, what would you buy?
Silver.
Silver?
Yes.
What kind of silver?
Numismatics. Give me like some CC Morgans.
Ooh,
yes.
So you're talking, you'd buy collectible
yes.
coins. Got it.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Thank you, Seeker.
All right, guys. So now I'm here with JR. This is another guy who recognized me from the channel. JR, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to hand you this microphone. And I would like to know, JR, why are you here today at the coin show?
Well, I'm a history buff. I've only been stacking for about 2 years, but I enjoy the atmosphere and the knowledge that is here.
That's awesome. Now, did you come here to buy anything?
I did.
And what are you buying?
I like Englehart prospect rounds.
Okay. So you're looking for silver then?
I'm looking for silver, yes, sir. And 90%.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I like the historical aspect. There's no Englehart mint anymore. You know, they stopped selling, so you know, it's something that you can't just go and get anywhere.
I agree. I love the Englehart stuff. I collect it myself.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. You've only been stacking for a couple of years. What got you into stacking silver in the first place?
The economy and where we were heading. You
Okay.
know, I saw 2020 and how things were going downhill, and it's a store of value, you know, so it's going to be worth more, I believe, in the future, and that's why I'm stacking. I have some 10-ounce bars, a lot of rounds, but my stack is just growing. Just started, so.
Well, that's awesome. I love to hear people just getting into it and growing their stack already. So you had talked about the economy and the fiat dollar. Do you believe in gold and silver as real money?
Oh, of course, God's money.
Yeah, it's God's money. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think, and I don't like to put words in people's mouths, but, you know, when I'm thinking of like gold and silver and it's just, to me, it's about getting my money out of the fiat dollar. I mean,
of course,
everyone recognizes it's important. You couldn't have gotten here today without spending dollars.
That's correct.
But that doesn't mean that it's always going to be worth something. And it's best to have something that's been money for, 5,000 years at this point.
Right.
Fiat dollar is eventually going to fail. Maybe not in our lifetime, but it will.
That's correct. And we eventually want to become our own bank. going that route to where we don't have to rely on the fiat. And eventually, we're hoping that we'll be able to find more shows like this. This is my first show.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to one in St. Charles that's coming up, and maybe even go to Tampa show. Just heard from a couple of guys, so I'm looking forward to that.
The fun show?
The fun show.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, is it fun?
Oh, it's great. I love the fun show.
Great.
So last question for you. If you had $5,000 to spend right now on silver and gold, what would you buy?
I would probably buy the 10-ounce bars.
Okay.
Yeah.
10-ounce bars because of the low premium?
That's correct.
Gotcha.
Because right now the premiums are pretty low. I mean, compared to what was it last March or April, they were through the roof. Now, but they're starting to come up a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, JR, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. All right, guys, now we're here with Mad Stacker, and I said no dealers. Technically, Mad Stacker is here today with a table, but he's not an actual coin dealer. This is what, the only show you do?
This is the only show I do once a year.
Yeah, so, Mad, I'm going to ask you some questions. You already have the mic.
Absolutely.
Let's start with this. Why do you stack silver? And besides having a table, what the heck are you doing here today?
So, a couple reasons why I'm here. I stack silver because you're crazy if you don't. And that's a whole nother bunch of videos. Silver Seeker's got a bunch of videos on why you should. So I recommend you go check those out. I stack silver because I want protection for me and my family in case stuff goes wrong. And if it never does, that's great because I've got a lot of fun stuff. Why am I here? I'm here because this is the only place I get to see superstars like Silver Seeker and Everyday Opportunity and all those kind of folks, right? So we get the tables because it's a place where we can congregate and it's a place where we can be together. The silver on the table, I don't care if I don't sell a single piece all weekend. That's not my purpose for being here. My purpose here for being here is friendship and bonding with the other YouTubers who understand what it's like to be on this side of the table, for lack of a better word. So
Absolutely. So you do, however, have you bought any silver while you're here?
I've bought lots of silver since I've been here. Yes.
That's pretty much how it goes, I think. I always spend more than I bring.
And now if I'm able to sell anything else, I'll take that and go buy more silver too. So,
So let me ask you a question. If I were to give you $5,000 to go buy silver right now, what would you buy?
$5,000 to go buy silver right now, what would I buy?
And for the record, I'm not actually doing this.
Yes. Ooh, that's tough. So there's a guy at the front, and I can't remember his name, but he's got a lot of really, really pretty pieces. And since you were buying and I was using your money, I would get stuff I wouldn't normally get, the fancy stuff. Now, if you're asking me if it was my $5,000,
if I gave you $5,000 for you to keep and you just get to buy silver with it,
then I would buy the fancy stuff. Like He's got some dragons and ships and just some crazy stuff up there that you would never see normally unless you were at a place like this. And but I would have it hard, like, ultimately what I should do with it is go buy about $250 face value of constitutional silver. That's the smart thing to do.
Now, when you say that's the smart thing to do, why? Why is that the smart thing to do today?
One, because there's very little premium on the constitutional silver. Two, it's going to hold its value, and you're never going to have a conversation with somebody about why this is worth something.
Right.
It's already a stated value. You already know a silver quarter has the same silver value in it now as it did in 1964, right? It's very common. Everybody knows the weight. Everybody knows what it's worth. And if stuff does hit the fan, that's going to be the stuff that's really going to get you through, not some $500 cool ship coin, right? When you're trying to get a loaf of bread or something to eat for your family or some gasoline, that's going to be what you need to do that.
I agree 100%. Mad Stacker, thank you for joining us.
Appreciate you having me on, bro.
All right, guys, so we have another viewer here. This is Great Scott. Great Scott, thank you for coming to the show. Really quick, I just got to ask you, why are you here? What are you looking for?
Oh, my pleasure. This is where I live. I'm born and raised in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I'm here to come see all the fellow YouTubers and friends. I generally am looking for generic silver at a very low price right now. Also kind of looking for a few key items. My dad's wanting to get a 1916D Merc dime and what was the other one? the other big one, 1916 Standing Liberty coin. So yeah, we're on the lookout for those, but yeah, just having a good time.
Awesome. So you said you're here looking for generic silver. Now, why generic silver and not like collectibles?
Because I think the time is coming very shortly where the premium on those collectibles is not going to be able to be recouped.
Okay, that's totally fair. And I've talked about before that when you're buying collectible silver, obviously you're buying it to collect it on top of the fact that it also happens to be silver. But if you're looking to get the most silver for your money, generic might be the way to go. But what about 90%? Because the premiums on 90% are basically nothing at this point. Is that something you stack or are you looking for?
Absolutely. You know, I love the fractionals, and yeah, when there's no premium, you're getting the numismatic bonus as well. We love these coins, absolutely.
Sure. So let me ask you one more question. Let's say somebody gave you $5,000 to buy silver today, or gold. You could choose gold. What would you buy? Now, not for them, but for you. What would you buy with $5,000?
Well, to me, gold is for rich people, and I'm not about either one of those, so I would definitely buy just the cheapest silver I could pick up.
So the cheapest silver you can pick up and the most. All right, great, Scott. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's a pleasure, and thanks for coming to the show.
My pleasure as well, Secret. Thank you.
All right, so I just talked with 3 different people about what they are here for, what they would buy if they had extra money to put into silver, and what they're stacking right now. But I figured let's get the perspective of a dealer, and we're going to be talking to Ryan from Northeast Arkansas Coin to tell us what he thinks is going on with this market right now. So let's get Ryan in here and see what he has to say. So Ryan, the last couple of weeks, I just want to get right into it. Silver price has pulled back. We had saw it go up to $31, almost $32 an ounce, and now right now it's sitting at $28.60. How is this huge rise in silver and then subsequent massive dip affect your customers? Are they buying more, selling more, waiting? Are people buying the dip? What's going on in your shop?
Okay, you gave a lot to answer there, actually. So on the rise, it caused a lot of people to back off. People weren't buying it. It was too high. They look at it from what they were paying months ago to what they're paying now, and it scares a lot of people. Even though it's rising, you would think a lot of people would follow through. A lot of people back off of that market. And with this sudden dip and the sudden movements that it's making, with gold and silver both making huge movements in a matter of days, it's causing a lot of people not to be interested in the market. They are really backing off. But on the other side, the huge upswing in the market has caused a lot of people that have been holding on to it for years. They see it, they wake up one morning, they see it on TV, and next time they're in my shop the next day saying, hey, how much is this worth? I'd like to cash it out, because they're scared it's not going to go any higher.
Right. Or they're scared it's going to drop, which is what it's doing.
Exactly. And that being said, because of these massive drops that we're seeing, it's just encouraging them to even want to sell even further. Just because, hey, it's 28, but it's set at 22 for the longest time.
Right.
So it being set at 22 for the longest time, they realize that, everybody sees that. They look and go 28, and may never reach 28 again. So I want to get out, is what their thought process is.
Right. So are you buying a lot of product in the shop right now?
Right now I'm buying a lot.
Right.
And back to what I just said a few seconds ago, I had something hit my head. Another thing that I have seen, I think it's important to notice, is with the rise of interest rates and the rise of everything else that are happening right now, I'm seeing a lot of people who got into the housing market, were buying a house, buying a car, paying way over sticker, that now can't afford it, and they're having to dump their assets.
Right.
And just to be able to afford their everyday living.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a huge influx of that causing, I don't want people to think just because the silver went up, everybody's selling because the silver went up. There are other factors that do play into that we have seen and heard them say, because one guy came in just before we came here, sold us 24 ounces of gold. His reasoning behind it was, I can't afford my payment. They just upped my payment on my interest. I was paying 6, now I'm paying 8.
Wow.
So it's one of those things, and that in a big house, that can be thousands of dollars, or it can be hundreds. Hundreds of dollars go very far.
Yeah, it does. So with all the product that's coming into the shop right now, if you're buying more than you're selling, what are you doing with it?
So right now, the fastest thing is turnover. We're not trying to keep anything. Like beforehand, when everybody was buying, we were trying to hold on to as much inventory as possible. We want to be heavy inventory. Right now, we are just trying to maintain cash flow. We want to be strong in cash, very weak on the metal side, due to the fact that we don't know when the next person that's going to call us and say, hey, I got 90 ounces of gold. I got 20 ounces of gold. I got a bunch of silver. We don't know when that next call is going to happen. And when it does, you have to be ready to purchase it.
Right. If you don't have the cash, then you can't purchase it, you're not making money, right?
Exactly. So right now, we get it, we're going to be turning over as fast as possible.
So let me ask you one last question. If you had, say, $100,000 to invest into gold and silver today, someone's already made the decision. You're not trying to convince them they should do this. They are already going to do it.
Yeah.
Would you tell them to go more gold, more silver, a mix? What would that percentage be?
So there are different aspects on that. You hear a lot of the big guys saying that gold will hit 2,500. Do I think that's possible at the election year? Yes, I do think it's possible. I think it's going to be a struggle to get there. I don't think it goes much further if it does, but it will be a struggle. But right now, if you're looking at percent spreads, I think silver has the biggest percent gainer, especially with it moving like gold used to.
Right.
Like it's moving 2 and 3% every day, 10 and 20, because it's moving that 30, 20 cents, $1. When it's moving those high markets, you could buy it today and be cash money tomorrow.
Yep. Absolutely.
So right now, in my opinion, I think it's better to go like a 70-30 split, 70% silver, 30% gold, because I don't think you go one way or the other. I like to have both because gold in the asset world is your rock. It's supposed to be there to maintain wealth. It's not really there for, hey, a next week gainer. That's what silver's meant for. So in my opinion, I think it's a good idea to do about a 70-30 split.
All right, well, fair enough, Ryan. Thank you from Northeast Arkansas Coin Company.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, guys, well, that's going to wrap it up for me for the 2024 Tulsa Coin Show. But just a couple of thoughts. This has been a wonderful show. Free parking for everybody, a 1,500 car lots out there. Free to get into the venue, a huge, beautiful venue with a snack bar that had decent food as well. The U.S. Mint was here, CAC was here, NGC was here, Annex was here. Just SD Bullion, my channel sponsor, was here. Huge players in the market all showed up for the show. And every single person that I've talked to, dealers and people walking the floor, have all been really happy with how the show was. So if you can make it out next year, put it on your calendar. It's going to be in June next year as well. I don't have the exact dates, but I do know that they're available. So maybe ask in the chat, or I'll put it in the description when I find out exactly what that is. But really, really great show. Hope to see you guys here on the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.